Can it possibly continue?
I think it can at this point. I'm a believer. You hear all the players laughing. It's because they can't believe how incredible this action game is. We can't believe it. It's amazing. It's as good as the last one. Great. Maybe it's better.
It might be. It might be.
It might actually be better. I didn't think it was possible. But the heights we're achieving.
Yes, like the Empire State Building. But then the Sears Tower.
Exactly. Generator says, time to raise it up with the A7 off.
Yeah, he said it, actually.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't have said that because now they know what he has.
Well, they have to believe him, though.
Yeah. But it makes it like a far more likely holding.
Joseph looks like he's coming in for the 3-bet here.
Wow.
Joseph is interesting.
That is not a normal Joseph play.
No. He's on the button. He's protecting his button. He sees the Terminator's raising it light, and bam, everyone folds right away.
It's possible he's picked up on Terminator's sizing. Terminator's been making it 25 a lot pre-flop, but he's never really had much. Now, he hasn't made it bigger, so we don't know. Maybe he would make it the same size with aces, but I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Maybe we'll find out. Joseph also sized it huge, that raise, similar to Vig, actually. We made it 175.
Yeah, it was pretty big. It wasn't big.
No, but it was I guess with 2 callers, it's not crazy to do
It's not.
but it is pretty big all the same. Like 140 is generally going to get the job done. Terminator completely
He's off the rails.
unperturbed.
He's off the rails. Oh, Action Aaron just flats the jacks there.
Wow, surprising.
Very strange. Hank, King 5 off, small blind. Let's do it. The Vig's like, I need to buy some more leather hats.
Do you think Action Aaron's going for trying to encourage the Vig to do a little squeeze play?
I think he is. I think he's
perfect.
recognized that the Vig has been doing that.
He has a perfect 4-bet shove spat, too, with 2 jacks, but not anymore.
That's a bad
it's all
flop.
gone now.
Bad flop for Aaron. Luckily for him, nobody that we know of has an ace.
Snuggie decides to bet, though.
And he decided to enter the pot also. He could very easily have an ace.
Yeah, I think, looks like Aaron is going to call, but probably...
He's got 2 back doors also.
Yeah, okay. That's true. So if Snuggie bets again, we're probably going to have to fold most of the time.
Hey, speaking of 2 back doors,
can't
look at
fold
that.
on that card, I guess.
That's
we could be drawing nearly dead, but
we check. Okay,
makes sense. And a set on the river.
That's not really what you want.
But we'd really love it. Snuggie's going to bet, but I'm not sure what he's repping anymore.
A queen. You could easily have a queen.
What did he bet on the flop with?
Ace queen, 10 queen.
Why didn't he bet the turn with?
Queen.
I guess 8 of hearts he could. Yeah, he can have some queens. Queen. You think he bet queen 9? I think Action Aaron's supposed to call here.
Queen 10 or ace queen.
I like this call. Let's see if Snuggie has it. Snuggie has queen jack, it looks like.
Yeah, queen jack. That
so
makes
it was
sense
open-ended, sure. Oh, wait, he got there on the turn.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He just checked the turn when he got there. Wow.
He had the queen of hearts also.
Wow. Oh, he could have made more money if he bet the turn.
Yep.
Although maybe Action Aaron folds the river more of the time. I don't know. But still, what a turn card. What a river card.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's only bluff catching on the river, obviously.
Of course, but like it's a 2-outer where Aaron is going to be doing that. Although actually a 7 would have been a very bad card for Action Aaron.
The 7 would have been the worst card.
And actually anything but the 7 of hearts was going to be Action Aaron wasn't going to be able to improve except for the 7 of hearts. Yep. So he had 1 out. That's very bad.
That is bad to have.
You don't want to have 1 out in that spot.
It says Snuggie has queen 10 there. He had queen jack. We saw it.
Yeah, we did.
We're just getting things in order here digitally.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like how you said that. Digitally. Because there's Dash Digital Cash right there. And, it's just winking at us. That's what that D is doing. It's a big wink.
Okay.
It's not funny. We'll just go with that. That's real. Anyway, apparently we're bringing the cards back in.
Getting these issues sorted out.
A lot of anger.
I have a lot of anger.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was describing. Your anger.
Yeah.
It's okay. Why don't you talk about it? This is a good time to talk it out a little bit.
All right. Last episode, I learned something.
Yeah.
Jonathan hasn't seen Moana.
No, I've not.
So
still haven't, by the way.
He said he likes animated movies.
I do. In fact, a big fan of Pixar.
All right. So tag your tweets. Hashtag Jonathan hates children in all joy and love.
That's a little long for a hash.
For those who care, they will make the hashtag. I'm looking at you, Damon, in San Diego. You're gonna do it.
Wow, it's really asking a lot, but okay. We'll see if it happens. Hey, is that a blind race from the term? No, it is. Wait.
No, I think it's just the big blind. Oh, is it the blind race?
That looks like.
Yeah.
No, it says Ken's under the gun.
Yeah, it's just a normal big blind.
It looks like more, but
it's one of those extra thick chips.
Yeah. It's like a double stuffed cookie.
Yeah, we
Oreo.
We have some of those. Actually, Aaron with a big hand here.
He had a big hand last time, too.
Batiste with a big hand.
Ooh,
This could be real good for Aaron.
Aaron's got the kind of stack that if Batiste decides to 3-bet, but Batiste does not.
Dancing between the raindrops.
Wait.
What am I waiting for?
It looked like you put in several. You just put in 2 chips. God, I keep thinking they're putting in multiple chips. It's only
Maybe
2.
you should just leave the chip analysis to me.
Fair enough. Hank with 6-4 clubs on the button.
And he flops best.
He does. Maybe tough to hold on for very long. We'll see.
Aaron does have 2 back doors, but it's not the type of flop you love.
This is a pretty slam dunk bet spot, I think, for Hank. But he checks it and lets Action Aaron get there.
Well, I don't know if he's going to get any action, though. Unless
No.
Batiste wants to try to hit a gut shot.
Action Aaron looks like it's 100.
Yep. That's 2/3 pot here. It's probably too much to seek the gut shot and probably too much for Hank. Even though it's Hank, I think he'll probably find a fold with bottom pair, no kicker.
Batiste may be thinking about floating here, thinking he can sometimes win on the river if Action Aaron, if he flats. But he's deciding Hank's behind him, and Action Aaron didn't have to bet this card when he checked the flop.
Maybe if Batiste had the ace of hearts in his hand, he could float there because then he has the gut shot and he can bet all the flush draws that come in.
I think so.
But he did not have that, so he couldn't do it.
Action Aaron.
It's good to see him happy after Batiste just showed him the bluff last time and made everybody in the world so sad.
That was a good hand. You guys don't remember last week, Batiste 3-bet with the 9-6 of clubs, flopped 2 back doors and continued when Aaron flopped top pair. The middling kicker, right? Queen Jack, I think he had.
We got a blind raise here from Snuggie.
Hey, all right.
35.
Batiste 3-barreled himself and got the fold on the river and then showed it.
It's definitely a blind raise if Batiste raises here. That would mean that he's just kind of opening the pot. It's a big blind raise, by the way. Usually they do 20. And Batiste does 3-bet, which is just a raise, really, to 80.
Yep. See how it changes things, though. The vig who would call a normal raise with 8-6 suited for sure.
Yep.
Instead is forced to fold.
Snuggie's getting a very good price here.
Yeah.
He's going to have to call.
He knows it.
I guess
He may still be smarting, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That King 10 of diamonds hand?
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go watch it.
Well, Snuggie could lose a bet here.
A little something for everybody.
I imagine Batiste checks back a lot on this monochromatic king high board, though.
Let's see if he does the hard check, 2-finger hard check move. No.
He's betting.
He says it's Snuggie. I'm going to get some value against this guy who might be tilting. Snuggie. Really?
110. It's a pretty big bet for the texture of the board, and Snuggie does call.
I think he's supposed to.
Yeah. Queen, so Batiste picks up more equity.
Yeah, bad card for Snuggie. It's more of a reasonable check fold spot if Batiste decides to fire again. I expect he would mostly fire again.
I don't think so. And he does check.
I think you want to charge the spades, man.
It's just, I don't think you can reasonably expect to get value on that card.
Snuggie's got a big spade in his hand. He might call. If he has a spade and a pair, he might call.
I choose check. I think check is better.
Well,
Batiste now has a straight, and he's not going to get any value.
No way. No way is Snuggie going to call now. You can see Batiste's face.
225.
Oh, Snuggie has not folded, though. He's thinking about it.
He might be on tilt, but I don't think he's on this much tilt.
I mean, what can we reasonably beat here?
Ace 8 with the ace of spades.
But Batiste didn't bet the flop. He's usually going to bet the flop.
He bet the flop.
He checked the turn. I'm sorry. You're right. So he could have that.
All right, leave the chip analysis and the street analysis to me.
What am I left with?
You can talk about the clothing the players are wearing.
Okay.
Until you mess that up. And then I'm taking that away.
Okay. No, that seems fair. A merit-based system. I love it. Why isn't more of the world like this?
You know.
We just get what we deserve.
Yeah, like
we earn it.
The Trojan way.
If I do a really good job with the close, I think I should be given back chip talking privileges.
How does that relate, though? You said it was merit-based.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying, so I do a really good job with the close. That means I get to earn more responsibility again. Speaking of which, there's Aaron with that really nice shirt. I like the different colors.
Okay, that was fine.
Yeah. Joseph, the stark difference between the hat color and the sweatshirt color.
And in 7-6 offsuit, I do not, as the analyst of poker, usually think Joseph is going to be opening this hand.
It is really surprising. Joseph, we talk about how tight he is, but he has played against type.
Well,
so
he
far.
does watch Poker Time, so he might be like, you know what, screw you, poker guys. I'm not that tight.
Or maybe he's just thinking, if some of these guys are watching Poker Time, I get to take advantage. Ken could 3-bet or he could call here.
He does 3-bet to 200.
We sizable.
Have multiple ace queens and pocket sixes for Batiste. I think Batiste is going to have to call based on stack sizes here. Even though a 6 is dead, he doesn't know that.
I don't think... Well, I guess because he could get the money out of Ken specifically. Even then, it's... Yeah, I guess he's supposed to call.
Stick to the close, all right?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. You almost didn't, though, and that would have been a big mistake.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Pretty close? Like, what item of clothing are you talking about?
It's a good flop for Batiste, but is he going to be able to win this pot? Ken
now
makes
he
it
is.
easier.
Now he's going to be able to win this pot. He could bet here because Hank doesn't have to have anything.
I like betting.
Yeah, I understand why he checked, though. He picks up a straight draw, which would be really good to hit because both of his opponents have aces.
Ken looks like he's going to fire now. And as Batiste, it's hard to imagine what you're losing to unless Ken was just slow playing an overpair.
Yeah, it seems more likely that he just has the 3 combos of a set of 8s as possibilities.
Right. I mean, he could also, now you're thinking, well, what am I losing? I'm losing to ace, king of hearts, ace, queen of hearts, stuff like that.
Well, he's not losing to them.
No, right. But I mean, that you'd be even thinking putting him on as
Yeah.
hands that would reasonably bet here.
Right.
Hank has not folded yet because we know that guy hates to fold.
He has 2 overcards and a hoodie.
Yeah, he's got a straight draw as well as these other 2 guys. But, of course, the 5 is a disaster for Hank.
Hank would pay Batiste off hard if a non-red 5 came on the river.
Look at the hands of Hank. Those things are huge.
You're weird with hands.
He's probably choke some guy with those hands.
That's possible.
Just because of his. Oh, if you're wondering why I say that, it's not. It's because we revealed
folds. Hank
yeah,
folds.
good fold. We revealed in last show that Hank is it's a great card for Batiste.
It really is because if Ken bets, it doesn't really make that much sense. He's supposed to be afraid of the 8 if he has an overpair.
He checks correctly. Batiste could really reasonably bet for value, but he may think
that
Ken is
would
just
be
going to pay him
really
off.
thin.
You got to try and get called by ace high, and you're repping a missed flush draw, which there are 2 of. There's hearts and diamonds.
He didn't.
But he checks it that really hard check.
Looks like it would hurt his fingers.
I swear it does. Anyway, I was saying Ken's occupation is he's a personal security expert.
No, that is not the fact because you said Ken.
Oh. Well, I got that wrong too, but I wasn't talking about clothing, so I'm okay. I'm, of course, talking about Hank.
You get to keep your clothing stuff, but you don't get to talk about professions anymore.
Let me
tell the people. All right,
Hank.
Hank is a personal security expert, and he often has to guard high-risk clients.
Yes.
And he's a badass, basically. Don't mess with him.
Yeah. Turns out Hank isn't the guy to make fun of. So, Hank, whatever we said up till now, we apologize. And it was a joke.
And he knows how to find you, by the way, YouTube commenters. He knows how to find you.
Oh, yeah.
And Joseph is... What's going on?
Joseph is changing it up.
Do we have a Freaky Friday with Joseph and Terminator?
I don't know. Terminator opened Jack 3 off in the last hand. Oh, here he is with Jack 3 off again. But no, not going to play that one. Ken's been playing a lot of hands very successfully.
Reasonable hand to call, obviously.
Oh, yeah, especially on the button, but sure.
We got a limp pot thanks to Joseph limping under the gun with the King 7 of hearts.
Yep.
He flops best. Top pair.
Snuggie with a tray.
Ken with a gut shot. Joseph's going to bet. Almost pot. Hank finds a hand he can fold.
Yep. See if Ken decides to hold on for a...
he does.
He will. That's
does.
reasonable.
It's not the best gut shot in the world.
You don't love also 2 diamonds out there.
Would love to have a backdoor flush draw with it or something.
Yep.
Snuggie overcalls, by the way, and Ken picks up a pair there.
Not really the card
and
you were hoping to
Joseph,
hit.
by the way, picks up the second not flush draw.
Yes, Joseph absolutely can continue. Gotta believe this is probably going to end things as he sizes it up a little bit here.
Looks like over 100, right? 110, 120, something like that. 145.
Whoa. Get out of my pot. That's what that's saying.
I don't think Ken should be continuing here.
No.
He did turn a pair, but, I mean, he's really not beating anything.
He has Snuggie behind him as well.
And when
Ken is like...
He's going to call, but if the 5 comes in, it's like super obvious, too. Also...
5, an ace, or a 4 are all kind of obvious.
Yeah.
And scary. I guess a 4. If the 4 pairs up, actually, it's a little hard for Joseph.
That one's fine, but you also don't want the other outs to be hearts or diamonds. Yeah. So I don't know.
There's the 5. Ken gets there somehow.
Well, if Ken can get paid here, which I don't think he can, it shows merit to his turn call. If he doesn't get paid, it shows that it's kind of not great.
If it wasn't the 5 of diamonds, he'd have a shot at getting paid at least. But 5 of diamonds is just a killer card.
It really is.
Like, what can Joseph beat now? And he knows it.
That's pretty unlucky for Joseph as equities were, how equities were on the turn. Ken, this guy is...
running hot.
This guy is lucky. There are 2 new players, by the way. The Vig and Ken. Both those guys have been running like crazy good.
Yeah. They're like piping hot waffles just out of the waffle maker.
The Vig wins basically every hand he enters. Ken has things happen like Snuggie folding the King 10 of diamonds, which becomes the nuts on the turn. And instead of losing a $2,500 pot, Ken won the $2,500 pot.
Also, Ken got Snuggie to fold jacks on the river when he had 10s and bet the river sort of out of nowhere. And like things have been going right. Sometimes you just dance and the rain never hits you, you know?
Yeah. What kind of clothes are good for that?
Mostly trench coats.
Okay.
And you need a really good lamppost, obviously.
All right.
You know, Singing in the Rain type style, Jim Kelly. Hank says, I got the 10 and the 9. We're going.
That's what he said. He said it. People keep announcing their hands. It's weird.
Yeah, you know. No one's won since they've announced their hand. Yet.
Terminator's going to play this hand for sure, right? He's just taking his time.
Yep, he's really enjoying life.
Makes it 25.
Of course he does. Ken looks like he does not fold the 5-4. Ken's like, I'm running way too hot to fold.
He might subscribe to the heater theory.
It seems like it.
Which is actually outlined in Doyle Brunson's book, sadly enough.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Wait, what's the theory, though?
I remember reading
Yeah.
Super System 2, and he says if you've won a lot of hands, you should keep playing because runs are real.
Really? He didn't say, like, because other people would perceive you to be hot?
I'm pretty sure he says runs are
Wow.
real. Yeah.
I know he does. I know he always said, like, if he won a hand, he'd always play the next hand.
Yep.
But, well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I'll
Let's
say.
whatever. We'll go with that.
It was
All right.
it was a less sophisticated time. Terminator against Hank. Hank with the advantage.
Slight advantage here. We have a lot of chops coming.
Hank picks up a draw, though.
He does.
Check, check.
Not a great draw.
Hey, it comes in.
It comes in, but it's not a great
Feels like
spot.
a check.
Hank's going to bet. I
No,
guess
this
he's
is
trying to
not-
get called by 2 pair. I don't know. This is not... The ace is so likely.
Terminator. That's going to be a pretty easy fold for the Terminator.
Yeah.
Terminator was the guy who raised it, right? Because Hank limped, right?
Yeah.
So that would be Terminator's the guy who's supposed to be able to have more aces there.
I think Hank was just happy that he had a straight.
Yeah. Maybe Hank also thinks if Terminator raises, he can fold. You know, he's going to play it perfect.
Okay.
Try and get called by some weaker stuff.
All right, you should stick to the close.
He's got the second nuts, man.
Yep.
Do you think Hank's folding if he gets raised?
I hope so.
Yeah. I think he's folding. I think he's going to think for a while, hate his life, and fold. I mean, not his life. Just hate that moment in his life, obviously.
Right.
That guy does personal security. How can he hate his life? That's so cool. Now that I know this about him, he just looks so dangerous. Hank limping the ace-3 off. Vic hasn't played a hand in a while.
That's correct.
Looks like Ken's loading up a raise, though.
With the 5 deuce, he's feeling it.
Loosey-goosey time and poker time.
Snuggy's had enough.
So he's going to call with the ace-8. He does at least have position on everybody.
Batiste with king 6 suited could call here. He knows Hank's calling behind pretty
Could
much
call,
every time.
could 3-bet. But Ken raising, you really can't 3-bet Ken's raise, I guess.
Hank sometimes, well, he showed us one time last episode that he did limp 3-bet. That would have been bad for Batiste, but you got to take that chance, I guess. Anybody flop anything?
Yeah. Ken flops middle pair,
Yeah.
and Hank flops bottom pair.
There you go.
Snuggy with the backdoor draws.
Snuggy loves backdoor draws,
He's
by
got
the way.
3 backdoor draws.
But he gives up on them.
Yeah. Ken bets, hoping everyone folds, and everyone but Hank.
And he has the best hand, though.
It's the battle of the very weak hands.
Queen on the turn. I imagine it's going to go check, check. I think it did, yeah.
It did, yeah.
We see is a deuce on the river.
Wow, Ken gets there again.
Hank bet, or did he call?
No, he bet.
He bet.
There's the call.
Yeah.
Easy call for Ken, and wow.
Was Hank bluffing or what?
Yeah, I don't know. You got me, buddy.
I guess he was bluffing.
I guess he was bluffing. He might have gotten Ken to fold a 5.
It's possible.
I don't know why you'd be targeting a 5, but maybe 2 10s or something. You could be targeting 2 10s. Bet the river.
Could be.
That's all I got. But 2 10s really shouldn't fold there either.
I don't know. That was a very strange hand.
Yep.
I feel confused.
Yep. You can hear Batiste's donkey laugh in the background.
Donkey laugh. You call it a cackle.
Sure. That's another term for it.
Hey, the Terminator's making a 25 with the 10-4 of hearts.
Well, he's trying something, and you know what? He's persistent. He's like the Terminator. He keeps going.
And look at his stack. It's working. He started with $2,000. He's got 3.6 now.
There you go. It's all because of the sizing of
I
25.
think it's part of it, man. Everything counts.
Well,
okay, we got a lot of garbage.
Hank with the most reasonable hand in this spot based on everything.
Action Aaron flops open-ended here.
Hank flops a pair and a backdoor flush. Draw.
And Terminator's going to be the one betting. I don't think he's going to get through either player.
It's not an unreasonable bet, but
I agree.
it's clearly not going to work.
And Hank turns trips.
Well. I
Checks it. And Terminator's loading up here.
What? Let's see if Action Aaron decides to stick around. I think he may just fold. Yeah,
he
it's a
does.
good fold.
Does Hank raise or call?
Well, Hank does not have any kind of a kicker at all. You may think it's hard to get called by many worse hands.
I think Terminator would call with a king, though, if you raised.
I think he might, but I think this is a perfectly fine. I think Hank really has to check here and let Terminator fire. I guess he could put Terminator on king queen and fire himself, trying to represent a misdraw.
I think checking is better because Terminator can have bluffs, and then he can also have aces that he thinks are good now.
He could have the nut flush draw and things like that. Looks like Hank is going to try and get value from an ace. By the way, if Terminator had an ace, he would call anyway. Right?
He would absolutely.
So it's okay to bet in that way if you're worried about him checking back kings. The question is just how many bluffs does Terminator have, right?
I think he has quite a few.
Well, he did go bet. I mean, he doesn't have it this time, but it was weird that he went bet.
It was.
Especially when he bet that 7 pairing on the turn.
Yeah, the 7 pairing hits his opponents pretty well.
It's like you're repping a full house? Like, what are you supposed to have, bro? I guess Terminator can have a 7, though.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. I mean, Hank bets it himself. Terminator's forced to give it up, and onward we go.
That was really cool how you said that.
Thanks. Want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Onward we go.
All right, do previously on.
Previously on Poker Time.
That's not bad.
That was really good.
Can I try one?
Yeah.
Previously on Poker Time.
That's the voice you always go to, but it is pretty good.
That's like for kind of the scary show, though. Yeah. It's not for the happy comedy show that had a 2-part episode.
I'm always going for like the Law and Order thing. Like
it's 25.
Previously on Poker Time.
25 from the Terminator. He will not stop.
Until he is dead.
Or somebody is, at least.
Hank calls with the queen 6 because he is a queen.
Who wins in a fight?
He's got the best hand.
Hank or a Terminator robot?
An actual Terminator robot? It's close. Probably take the Terminator robot. Sorry, Hank.
Wow.
Sorry, Hank.
Wow.
Flush draw for the VIG. No one else really has anything.
Nothing at all.
It's going to check through. Great spot for the VIG to bet here. We'll get called by a king, but that's pretty much it.
Hank, I guess, hasn't acted yet. We're not going to look at him right now. Okay, there we go. And the VIG does bet, and I think they both fold, yeah.
Always nice to win with 8 high.
It is. It's nicer to win a huge pot with the nuts, though. Oh, sick.
It's nicer to win a huge pot with nothing.
Oh, you got me.
Nothing like making a big bet on the river when you don't got it and they fold. And they think for a while and fold. That's always a good one.
Previously on the Mindy Project. How was that one?
That was fantastic. You were going for Mindy Kaling there?
No, I wasn't going for her exactly.
Oh,
I was going for like a happy-go-lucky type thing.
You got to be a little more nasally.
I don't think I can.
Previously, like that.
I don't think I can get my octave that high, as she has a very high voice.
Well, yeah. Joseph in the hijack. Back to his tighter ways.
Easy open for Batiste here.
You know, a lot of hands have nicknames. Do Pocket Fours have any nickname?
They do.
What is it?
It's a recent nickname. It's Obama because he was the 44th president.
I don't know if you're joking or not.
No, I'm serious.
Never heard that.
I guess that makes 4-5 the Trump. Not sure. All right, so Terminator checks. Batiste, this is a really bad flop for Batiste's hand here.
It ain't great. He decides to give a free card. And
another really bad card for Batiste.
Terminator checks again, though.
Batiste could... I think he should just check back and hope he's good.
He's going to take his showdown value.
Another really bad card for Batiste.
The problem is if Terminator doesn't have a hand that beats us, he's often going to bluff it, although he did not bluff it here.
You think Batiste should be bluffing there?
On the river?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should probably be bluffing before the river, honestly, because it's going to be so hard to call anything. So, like, it's hard to take our showdown value. He was able to do it there, but I'd be concerned about, especially from a guy who likes to bluff the river, like the Terminator.
Maybe you just don't play your showdown value checky enough and strong enough to, like, actually take it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay, good. Glad I didn't pretend I knew that time, you know? You know when sometimes people say something like, yeah. Especially if you can't really hear them.
Yeah.
It's a classic move.
You're just like, oh, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, no, like, please don't repeat yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to ask. Yeah. It's like with the ace-9, Grant's favorite hand.
He's going to raise.
Grant's favorite action with that hand.
It is. Well, fold, actually, under the gun would be my favorite action with that hand.
No, but I'm just saying in general with ace-9. You want them to raise it.
If they're going to play it.
Yeah. So far, everyone's getting in, but now we see some folds. And
well,
the VIG,
he's got a big hand.
Let's see how he sizes this now if he goes for a big 3-bet.
200.
Still pretty big sizing.
Not really. Not when there's a raise to 40.
You're right.
It's actually small sizing.
You know what? You're completely right. It's small sizing. You're completely right. He made it like 300 before over like 25, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what Joseph's thinking about.
He's thinking about the effing Mirage, man. If I could just hit a 5 and a 3.
He's thinking about that movie with Sharon Stone Fatal Attraction when she was getting interrogated by the police. He's just like, I think I could see something.
That's what he's thinking about?
I don't know what he's thinking about. I sometimes think about that.
Joseph Folds.
It's really close, you know? It's like Trick of the Light. I don't know. I feel like maybe.
Okay.
Very sensual movie.
We need to get Jonathan a date, everybody. Let's work together on this.
Hashtag. Action Aaron, that pretty sweet American Fighter t-shirt. Love the colors.
It's good. Stick to your sweet spot. You haven't said anything about Batiste's jean jacket.
I'm staying in my lane. I usually make fun of that. I'm working my way up to it. You know?
Okay. The VIG calls. You got a lot to say about the VIG, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we already were. Last episode, we talked a lot about his leather hat. And was it the dual watch? No, was it the VIG with dual watches?
No,
or
and nobody had dual watches. You
right.
were wrong.
I just thought they did.
Snuggie
sure?
3 bets with ace jack.
We're sure that's not a watch on Ken's left hand?
Yep.
That looks like there's a.
Do you notice that every player has that?
But it looks like a watch face. Look how bright it is.
There's a white part where it has to get the sticky part.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I was almost fooled.
Anyway, Terminator calls on the button that 10-7 suited.
That's fair.
And he flops best.
See if Snuggie continues or not here.
It's a very dry board. It's reasonable to continue.
Yeah,
Just
I like
continuing
for sure. You sometimes have the best hand. You can fold out. Well, you can't really fold out a better hand
But
yet.
you fold out equity, though.
Yeah. It's completely reasonable to bet here after we 3-bet.
Well, he picks up a little more. He's got the 4 now to make a straight.
I like betting again.
I don't hate betting again. I don't think it's going to work.
No, I really don't. But I like betting again.
Look at that watch face on Snuggie's hand. It's a joke at your expense.
Terminator calls super fast.
Big bet, too.
This has got to be a little sad if you're Snuggie when Terminator calls that fast.
The question is, if Snuggie goes for it on the river, will Terminator fold?
Well, that's not a good card to get him to fold.
He just gives up here.
Yeah, Snuggie's got 685. It's sort of shove or nothing with.
He can hope that Terminator has a flush draw, you know?
Right.
And maybe he gets to win, but no.
Terminator also then has to check back the flush draw.
Yes.
It's asking a lot for him to have it and check it back.
Yeah, but giving up's okay sometimes. It didn't
Absolutely.
really feel like a great spot.
After Terminator calls 320, like before your chips even get in there,
yeah.
And you only have like half a pot left, I think it's pretty reasonable to give up.
You're forced to give him 3-1 on the river? Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. If anything, I actually like checking and maybe considering calling if he bombs the river because maybe he'd bomb a flush draw.
That's a good point.
So I don't hate that. We may have to call with the ace jack, but it's better than betting it. I assume Terminator would have called a shove there too.
Probably. It's not a great spot, obviously.
Nope. He wouldn't love it, but I think he'd end up finding a call. That's my guess.
The VIG gonna get in there and limp the threes. Terminator made it 25 again with 8-5. He's just and here goes all of Snuggie's chips with 4s.
It is the best hand.
It is. I mean, it's still 600. It's 68 big blinds.
Yeah,
you just put in with 4s though.
Yep, that's correct. It's definitely gonna work.
Maybe he can get called by ace king sometimes, I suppose.
Sure, ace queen,
maybe even ace queen, but generally the hands that call you are not gonna be good for you there.
Yeah. So he picks up what, $80?
Yep, and usually that's what's gonna happen. That's the usual result when the VIG limps. Terminator makes it 25. Ken just calls. Most you could move in every time and usually get it through, but still probably shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, if he's adding like 12% to his stack, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
$80. If it's mostly going to get through, and once in a while you get called by.
If you want to add 12% to your stack in a cash game, you should probably just buy it, though.
I mean, it's nice to win it.
Yeah.
If it's a profitable play, it's a profitable play.
I don't think it is over time.
And the question is, how often does Terminator have a real hand?
Yeah.
Also, there can be. He wasn't in the big blind, so there was the big blind behind him too. Action Aaron can wake up with something.
True. Batiste makes it 40 under the gun with 8-9 of spades. Hank with the call. Terminator with the call. Terminator's playing everything right now. He's up. He's feeling good.
Yeah, 4K in front of him.
Speaking of up and feeling good, Ken's going to call with
sporting
6-5.
Sporting the plaid.
Like 7 or 8 watches.
It feels like Snuggie and Ken's shirts like were put into a blender.
Does it?
Yeah, Snuggie is going to walk away. Looks like the players are going on a break, so anyone who is not in the hand is taken off.
Joseph has 7 deuce and he hasn't folded yet.
I mean, Joseph, you can't call, man. There's no calling here. With
Those are black
deuces.
chips. He's not calling.
Well, that's good. He is going to put in the big raise.
Looks like over 300.
It's such a big raise. I just don't think anyone can call. And really, the only person who could consider it would be Hank anyway. But there's no way Hank can call with ace-10.
We've seen Hank make calls like that, but I think he's probably going to fold. It's a huge raise.
Humongous.
Batiste really doesn't want to give this one up.
I mean, there's no wiggle room here, is there?
He knows he has to.
Joseph has 1.8K behind. I guess you could shove and hope he folds.
And if he gets through Hank, it's over. He's going to win.
Yeah,
and that's
and
that.
does.
Joseph gets to win with 7 deuce. Let's see if he shows it.
I mean, don't you have to?
He did.
Yeah.
We're going to get right back to that sweet, sweet poker time action.
So good.
Oh, man, I'm enjoying it. But before we do, we got to talk a little bit about the sponsor, Dash Digital Cash.
What is Dash Digital Cash, you may be asking? Well, that's what we're here to tell you, actually.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, that's the reason this is being
That's
talked
what
about.
this is
And
about.
that's what's on the felt. It's a cryptocurrency, and it's an awesome cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more, you got to check out the video we made. It's a pretty good video, I got to say.
I know it is.
But basically, the cliff notes are, it is extremely fast and extremely cheap to send. I'm talking 1 to 4 seconds. I'm talking a penny. Anywhere in the world, any amount of Dash. It's a revolution, really.
It's incredible. It has other pretty great traits as well. It's got things like private send, which allows you to send anywhere anonymously with like true cryptography behind it, which is pretty awesome. It has instant send, which not only sends things super fast, but makes it spendable instantly, which is perfect for merchant adoption like Target, Starbucks, Walmart, Amazon, things like that.
Name more brands.
I could, if I really wanted to, Whole Foods, that's Amazon.
There you go, you did it. Anyway, let's get back to poker time. Enjoy the action. All right, we're back from break. Everybody probably got over their tilt from Joseph bluffing them all with 7 deuce.
Yeah. Blinds and A's, of course, are up.
Oh, yeah. We're now playing 100, 200.
No, it's not the sit and go. That's on Fridays.
It's on Fridays, Jonathan.
It's on Fridays.
Yeah.
Grant. But let's talk more about how everyone's dressed.
Okay.
Okay.
What about,
Look at that jean jacket.
there you go.
What's up with that?
How many chips are in the pockets, you know?
Is that guy got a motorcycle too? Huh?
He
Big
doesn't.
part of a motorcycle gang? He's like the brainy one in the motorcycle gang?
He does the hacking.
He could be that guy.
Yeah. Hacks into the cops database and changes all the records.
Absolutely. Hey, Terminator raised it up with 8 deuce off, by the way. And has the best hand.
He does, and Aaron's going to have to pay a little bit. Well, nobody bet.
Someone should check. I mean, bet. I think that someone should be betting.
They're just going to check it all the way down,
Why
huh?
did no one bet the turn?
Nobody wants to lose a big pop first hand after the break,
It
John.
seemed like a very reasonable bet on the turn. Even the flop, really, for Terminator, but certainly the turn. It's a wet board, man. The jack pairs, you feel pretty safe.
When he raised the 8 deuce for value, he got his value, and he was happy.
He would have gotten a bet out of Action Aaron
He
for
certainly
sure.
would have, yeah.
The old 8 deuce.
Offsuit.
I mean, it's better that way. It's prettier. Different colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like looking at a rainbow. 2-color rainbow.
Those are the good rainbows.
The red and black rainbows. Nothing weird about
I think
that.
if you saw a red and black rainbow, you should be a little worried.
The
It might
aliens.
be the apocalypse
Yeah.
or the aliens.
But still, I would love it. Even if that was the case. The Vig with the real hand under the gun.
yeah, very nice hand.
He's looking around like...
I think it's possible
Somebody
we have some
stole
sort of
his,
technical issue.
He's still freaking me out a little bit the way he's looking around. All right, now he's... Okay. Nope. Still looking around. Like he doesn't trust anybody.
Why would you trust anybody?
It is a poker game.
Oh, I think
they're calling
there was
it
a
back
technical
in.
issue. There's a misdeal or something.
Oh, he doesn't like that with the 9-8 of spades, but whatever.
He was under the gun. It's not the best.
He was going to play it.
Oh, sure he was. That is true. All right, now we get to see what the new hand he gets might be.
Very exciting.
There's some other guys over there.
Yep.
And there's other people too.
Nice. Let's talk more about Batiste's decision to wear jean jackets all the time.
Okay, what do you think about that?
Why?
It's his style.
Look, and you're looking at all the different clothes everyone's wearing there, and I don't know, man. It's his style, but there's so many options. There's so many different types of clothes. He just goes with the same. Is it a comfort thing, you think?
Don't you wear jean pants all the time?
Not all the time,
But
just
like the majority of days?
Sure.
Okay, so what's your point?
It's comfortable.
And maybe Batiste is comfortable in a jean jacket.
Who would be comfortable in a jean jacket?
Batiste would.
Nah. Hey, Vig got almost the same hand.
Yeah, got a 1 pip up hand.
That's kind of interesting. Got the 8 of spades again, and it's a reasonable open again. Joseph looks like he's going to play this one.
Just limps it on the button.
Sure. Could have raised that up.
Could have.
Probably more profitable to raise there, but whatevs.
Plenty of diamonds still out there.
Yeah.
Not as many spades, but nobody flops much.
Not much of anything there. Batiste with a gutter. Hank with a gutter. That's it.
Ouch, my finger, is what Batiste said after that.
I don't know why
check.
he does it so hard.
It's his style, like the jean jacket.
Yeah, well, maybe change the style.
You don't understand anything about this guy, do you?
Here's a great opportunity for... I love that Batiste is betting.
Yeah, he has a lot of threes in his range here.
Him and Hank are the only two guys with threes. That's it. Batiste does have some equity anyway. Hank is going to call.
There's a world where Hank wins with jack high on the river here.
I mean, it shouldn't have... One of these guys should be bluffing if everyone misses, right?
There's a 7. Let's see if Batiste doesn't take a shot.
I mean, you have to take a shot now. Like... What do you think Hank is calling with? He can have a 6?
He can have a 6, but Hank's not going to fold a 6 on the river.
I don't know if he is or not. He can have clubs.
He can have clubs, but he would have bet that on the flop line. Oh, Batiste checks.
And Hank checks it
jack
back.
high's going to take it.
This is going to be very... Let's watch for Batiste's reaction. Wait for it. There it is.
Perfect. I love that.
Look at the look. That was the... You called me with that on the turn? Oh, I can't believe you. Oh, that's great. There he is. Now he's looking around. Joseph is talking. Look, he's upset.
This is great TV. I love this.
Thank you, cameraman, for staying on Batiste this whole time.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect job. Yeah. One more bullet would have done it, but
you don't want to question Hank Batiste. Maybe you don't know what he does, but he will destroy you.
Yeah.
He will end you.
He'll like take out you biker kids. Oh, it hurts so bad. So it's a jack high.
Yeah, it's pretty funny though. Terminator's going to make it 25 under the gun with 8-6 offsuit. Terminator is completely off the rails right now.
Is Ken raising? Ken is putting in a 3-bet with king 10 off. +1.
He's recognized what's going on with Terminator, I think.
Yeah. And now Joseph is in a weird spot. Although, actually, everyone's so deep, Joseph can reasonably call
He
here.
can. They're very deep.
He just needs Terminator not to re-raise, and there's no reason to think. Terminator's raising so much, so wide, you really have to call with 2 6s.
And Terminator has to call with his hand at this point.
Yep. Great spot for Ken where one of the 6s is burned.
Yeah, Ken gets to win this a lot of the time. Not only equity-wise, just also play-wise.
Yeah. Also equity-wise now.
He should probably be checking this flop, though. I don't see much value in betting. I guess you get to charge diamonds and gut shots, but
that's about it.
That's not really a huge deal.
He did bet small, at least. He bet 100 into 255. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I just feel like your hand plays better as a future bluff catcher than anything else.
You need to get called by like king 9. I mean, as soon as you get called, you're just like, okay.
Yep.
Fine.
I think a lot of these players are currently in kind of auto c-bet mode when they're not thinking about it too much.
Yeah. Or just like they're in spots where like I'm not really sure what to do, and and this is not just these players. This is true for a lot of people where you just like default to c-betting rather than some other move, right? And actually that can work, right? Aggression wins pots, even it just works. People. But makes other people make decisions.
If you c-bet 100% of the time like Barry Greenstein, you're going to show up with a lot of hands that people don't expect you to show up with, at least.
That's true. And you're going to have a book that, sold okay for a while.
And you give it to people when they knock you out of tournaments, which happened all the time because you c-bet 100% of flops.
Yeah. I don't know if he still does that. I mean, of course he does.
All right.
Terminator's going to call.
Battle of the Titans.
We got the under the gun raise, which is king 2 suited. That's how this hand started.
And nobody likes that flop.
Ken checks it right back.
He picks up a spade draw.
Terminator picks up a tray. Ken does not bet the spade draw.
Well, Terminator's going to win this hand so often, yeah. And
Ken doesn't even take a shot.
That's strange.
Really weird to open king 2 suited under the gun and never rep anything.
Especially when he picked up the spade draw on the turn.
Yep. Now, I mean, Terminator was probably calling the turn, but still. Could have bet the flop, could have bet the turn, could have bet the river. I'm really surprised we didn't see anything from Ken there. Of course, Ken's the guy stacking all the chips, right?
Yep.
Even though he lost that very small pot.
Terminator's also stacking all the chips.
Usually it's not. I mean, in general, melee pairs. Make pair at the wrong time. Right.
So what we've seen out of Ken so far is he's not really super bluffy, right?
He's not super bluffy, and he is quite loose.
Right. Okay, so we just need to keep that in mind as players. Like we just saw, did he actually flip over his hand for the other players? Did they get to see that?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so they know that should be a lot of information about how to play against him both pre and post flop.
Snuggie has changed his name to Worm.
Yeah.
I think to troll the guy who actually is named Worm, who's been on Poker Time before.
That is correct. I have that under good authority. He is called Worm now for
a little confusing for the audience. Maybe we shouldn't have let him do that.
Well, he asked. We decided it was fine. Here we are. We can still call him Snuggie. I don't care.
Yeah, but then they'll be like, who are you talking about? It says worm on the screen.
Yeah. You can call it the Snug Worm.
Okay, we'll
Let's
call
do
him
that. That's good.
The snug worm.
That's great. In fact, maybe we'll call him that no matter what.
Yeah, that's what you get, Snuggie. Don't mess with the dials. That's our job.
Exactly. We make the jokes around here. All right, top pair for the Snug Worm.
Joseph with bottom pair. Nothing for Ken.
Ken's got the backdoor nut flush draw.
Joseph should probably be folding here, but he could decide Snuggie's going to bet a lot after opening preflop.
It's not the end of the world to call once, but
This is
it's
about a pot-sized bet,
pricey,
by the
yeah.
way.
And you got a guy behind you. I think you're supposed to fold.
Looks like he's not interested in that, though.
Well, now he does. Now you see, he thought for a while, and then he made the grimace.
Yep.
As soon as you make the grimace, that's the fold. That's the fold face. You know.
The snug worm is going to win this one.
I mean, I don't know how Ken can call, and neither does he. Snuggie wins a pot. Ken with 3.4K in front of him, up almost 2,000 smackers. Pretty good deal.
What's a smacker?
It's a unit of currency.
Okay, what's the country that's associated
I'm
with?
going to go with Chad.
Okay.
Sure, why not? I don't know. I've never been there.
You do that for $50? Yeah, I was gonna say that would not be a good bet for you. What if you wake up?
There's some sort of wager going on.
He's full of confidence.
Snuggie was saying he thinks Action Aaron's going to get it in with a really bad hand, and he's willing to bet.
Wayne was going around offering $100 for the seat there now.
Yeah, he's saying he's not going to have an ace or even a king in his hand when he gets all in.
Joseph has a hand that he's shown up with twice now.
Yeah.
That he usually wouldn't show up with. He did in our last session win a
Same
huge
hand,
pot
right?
with King 7 of Hearts.
So this is maybe his hand that
Yeah.
he just plays.
and
This time he
that's-
decided to raise it, though, instead of limp with
That's
it.
a really bad flop for King 7 of Hearts.
It really is.
He's
But
going to bet
gonna rep
anyway.
it anyway. And
It should work, even though Terminator has a pair.
Yeah. Terminator's hand just ain't good enough.
It's really hard to hold on for multiple bets with that hand.
Yep. You're going to need a lot of help. A lot of help, Grant. Much like the movie The Help with Emma Stone. And others. Octavia Spencer, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I'm just going to let you monologue on that if you'd like.
I didn't see the movie. But it's supposed to be great.
Okay, good.
I have it. I just have never watched it. Anyway, Joseph folds. But he's still sporting the jean jacket.
He hasn't taken it off since all of your criticism?
It's weird. He's just really snubbing us. You know,
Not me. I didn't criticize
it's
it.
a big snub. Action Aaron says, "I have a good hand."
Is that what he says?
Oh man, oh
You
man.
keep having players say things. I don't know why you're doing
it's
that.
fun. It's fun to do that. I love ascribing that. Good
Terminator
flop for
says,
Terminator.
I have top pair and a gut shot. I'm going to bet.
Yeah. Action Aaron says, "I fold." He might have even said that.
He could have.
Yeah.
That's possible.
I think it'd be exciting if he did.
Because then you'd be right about one thing on this episode.
We do a lot of episodes of Poker Time. You know, you're not going to hit about 1,000, man.
You go to sleep a lot of nights. Do
Yeah.
you just sometimes you just sleep on the wrong part of your house?
I mess up when I sleep. It's totally. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Sometimes you just wake up in the bathtub. And it's
That's
that's not where I meant to sleep.
He still looks pretty frustrated.
Yeah, I think he's annoyed with something. The VIG's going to open it up here.
When
Looks
is,
like just a limp with the ace-8.
Is that a raise by the Terminator?
Of course it is.
You betcha. And you know what it's to? 25.
He likes that 25. We haven't seen the Terminator with a good hand yet. We don't know if it's
true.
indicative of hand strength or not.
We've yet to see him with a good pre-flop hand.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing, actually. This is an hour and 45 minutes in now.
Yet
to,
he has a lot of the money. He's been flopping pretty well.
Well, that King 10 hand was the whole thing.
Yes, that was nice. Bottom pair for Ken. Is that it?
Backdoor flush for the VIG. I mean,
Yeah.
That's it.
Terminator's going to bet it.
He likes to bet it.
He's got no equity, I guess. It's a reason to bet it.
Ken is not going to fold. Wow.
It's an ambitious call.
Yep. Is correct.
And the VIG gives it up.
VIG folds. And a great spot for Ken right now.
And now he picks up an open-ender, so he's probably not going to fold.
Yeah. And checks it right back. That's fair. And an ace on the river. Great spot for Terminator to
Oh,
rep
that
it,
was a
and he
great
does
thing for
not.
Terminator to rep, yeah.
Oh. And
Terminator looks a little stunned. It's like, what are you doing?
like, yeah, that's good. Look at him shake his head. Ken just keeps adding to those mighty towers.
Well, all he has to do is
Whoa.
not fold,
Yeah.
and it looks like we've got a bit of a time interpolation.
That's exciting. Very
Whoa.
okay. That had to happen, though, people. Look at that. Get the full, everyone's slowing down. It's like bullet time on the Matrix right now.
Yep.
That's good. And the VIG. Yeah, look at him. What is that? Is that like a horseshoe he's wearing? No.
It's like
What
the
is that?
Moana thing.
Oh, that's the Moana thing.
I wonder if we're ever going to go back to normal speed.
I hope it changes at some point in the near future. I'm not
Hank
optimistic,
folds
I got to tell
very
you.
slowly.
Very.
Oh, we're speeding
No,
up. Are we
I
speeding
can't-
up?
I don't know. I assume it's going to get better soon. This is weird.
This is very weird. I feel like I'm in an alternate universe.
There we go. Nope. Okay. Well, we're gonna, this show's going. We got another 15 minutes of this episode, so we're just gonna call it however it comes out here. Okay. Hopefully it'll speed up.
It's going to happen.
This is weird. It's like, when you hit somebody, and like it's all super slow motion, their face, like their cheeks, like like puffy and crazy.
that happens all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They do that on Jackass, that movie Jackass.
There we go. We're back to normal.
Oh,
That was weird.
man, it feels so good to be back to regular speed.
That was some weird stuff.
Yeah. 2 jacks. That's 3 jacks, actually, for Joseph. He's going to check it. And Batiste does have a 6. That's about it. Snugworm with the check.
Snugworm.
Checks all the way through.
The Snugworm.
Joseph bets.
Next time I see
Half
Snuggy,
pot.
I'm just going to do that. I'm like, what's up, Snugworm?
It's good. It's really good. No one else really has anything at all, so I think it's just going to work. It's too bad you flop that good. Get nothing.
That's a real shame.
Yep.
You always feel sad in a moment like that.
Well, yeah, it's true. Look how quickly everything's going now. This is what it's like to be the Flash,
Yes.
Everything moves so fast. Actually, no, the other way is what it's like to be the Flash, right? Everything moves slow for you.
Right.
It's normal speed for everyone else. This is the opposite of being the Flash. This is just being a regular person right now. It's been a little bit of a drought for the VIG, but he's still nursing that very nice stack. Terminator makes it 25.
Obviously, 25.
Ken's got him dominated.
Ken's playing every time Terminator plays, which is every hand.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just both playing every hand. That's just what's happening.
Batiste, super reasonable spot here. Could even put in a 3-bet, but I'd expect it just to call, mostly. Seems fine. Hank really forced a call as well.
Yep.
Okay. It's like a reasonable pot so far. All the actions.
Hank flops middle pair. Terminator flops top pair.
And Batiste with somewhere in between. Third and second pair. Hank's going to just bet it right out.
Terminator will not be folding. That's for sure.
Looks like he's reaching for a raise here. Interesting.
Well, it's not unreasonable in a multi-way pot trying to shut out his opponent's equity.
You're often going to just take it down when you have the best hand and when you have the worst hand.
Yeah, that is an issue.
But you are correct. And look, Hank, as we've talked about, Hank really not interested in folding once he puts chips in.
So Terminator's getting a lot of value while denying equity here.
Yep.
Not a card either player really wanted to see. Although it's better than a lot of cards.
Is Hank going to bet again? No.
No, he's just fiddling with his chips to try to induce a check, I think. And this might be the action killer. Unless Hank decides to bluff, potentially. No, he checks.
It goes check, check there. Terminator really could have put in a bet on the turn, but the river, not surprising, he's going to check it back.
Bigger pot than you would usually win there with 10-8.
I guess Terminator, once his raise gets called, he no longer knows where he is either with his 8, right? Which is another problem with raising there. Like, I don't know if I have the best hand or not.
Yeah, Hank could have some better 8s in his range there.
Absolutely.
But I think he probably holds on with any pair and any draw. So there's more that Terminator's beating than he's losing to.
It's probably true. We could definitely put in another medium-sized bet there and check back most rivers.
Yeah. Not too many 9s in Hank's range.
Nah. Like 9-8. That's most of it, right?
Right. Maybe 9-5.
Yeah, maybe 9-5. But okay.
Terminator didn't play the hand.
I guess 6-7 got there.
Hold on, Jonathan. Terminator
What?
folded.
Did he make it 25? He made it 25,
No,
right?
no. Ken made it 40. Terminator folded.
I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
And the Snugworm's going to call
Yep.
with the A6 suited.
This time, if he flops diamonds, I predict he won't fold on the flop.
I don't know. What do you think?
Hey, well, we may not get to it because it looks like that's a big re-raise.
This guy loves squeezing.
Yeah.
Squeeze plays are his thing, man.
250, well, he's out of position, and there's a caller, so 250 is not absolutely insane.
This is going to work.
Sizing-wise, it's absolutely going to work. He just picks up the, $85 that's in the middle, not even including his blind, $95 that's in the middle.
The VIG is squeezing more than any player we've ever had on Poker Time.
No question, and it's worked every time so far.
Yeah.
His sizing is so big, everyone just backs the hell off, basically.
Right, so it's going to work until it's disastrous, I guess.
But so far, it's really worked.
We saw Action Aaron try to induce a squeeze, we think, when he just flatted with pocket jacks on the VIG's big blind once. That's probably a good strategy.
Yeah. But it didn't work. VIG dodged that bullet. Bullet time.
Yes.
Matrix style. Like Neo.
Yes.
2 10s for Action Aaron. Real hand.
Makes it 40. Doesn't have many chips.
That is true. Let's see if Joseph is checking out his stack. Let's see if Joseph has anything real here. Nope. Wait. Maybe.
Joseph always contemplates, no matter what.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think he'd even looked at his cards yet when he was checking out Aaron's stack. He was just trying to figure out the situation.
Hank's going to call the Jack-7 suited on the button. Terminator's going to set mine, and the VIG did not squeeze.
A lot of good hands here.
A little bit surprised the VIG didn't squeeze out of the small blind.
We've already seen him do it once with King Queen.
Joseph has ace-10, by the way. We now see that.
Maybe it's because Aaron's short. He didn't do it. I don't know.
Maybe. Hank flops amazingly well.
Wow, what a flop for Hank. Hank could have just bet this out because there's 5 players, but it's okay to check.
He's on the button.
Oh, hey. Well, then I like that he's going to bet now.
Stick to the close. What about the hoodie?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it really, shows off his best features.
The VIG just called. What?
What does the VIG have? King Queen.
Is the Queen of Spades, I guess. Terminator just called.
Terminator's deuces.
What is going on, Jonathan?
I have no idea at all. This hand is off the rails, and there's a lot more hand to go probably.
All right. Aaron folds. That's reasonable.
Joseph really should fold. Okay.
What happened?
I don't know what the other guys
Why
are doing.
did the VIG call? Why did Terminator call?
Terminator call?
And ace turns. Joseph would have made the best hand. Terminator has a gut shot now.
Yep. Now, 2 of the 10s are gone.
Hank's going to keep betting. This has to end things, right?
There's 2 gut shots right now. Hank bets again.
This just has to end things.
And the VIG cannot call. We're just trying to hit a 10. In his mind, that's the only thing he'd be reasonably trying to draw to. There's also 2 spades on the board. You got a man behind you.
He's reaching for chips.
Is he just playing with them, though? How can he put the chips in? He can't put the chips in. VIG is not a believer,
Yeah.
He is not interested in folding, and I mean ever. I actually played a hand with this guy once in a big tournament in Portland where I raised under the gun and he re-raised, and I thought he was all in, so I turned my hand over and put in the call chips, and it turned out he was not all in. He still had many chips behind. So he and everyone
He
knew
folds here, by the way.
He knew what my hand was.
Yeah.
I had king 10, and the flop was king high, and I just moved all in because I didn't really know what to do. And he called me with ace high. Even though he knew what I had. He had a gut shot. It was like king jack X. He called with ace queen, and turned to 10.
Well, you shouldn't have played it so bad, Jonathan.
How about that? So he doesn't like to fold, is my point.
Yeah.
I still remember that.
He might not like to fold, but that was crazy on that flop calling with king queen high.
Yeah. That was a little crazy. Now, sometimes Hank might be giving up on the turn. I mean, Hank was just potentially betting his position, although Hank doesn't do that.
He did once earlier in this session.
Yeah, I guess he did. Mostly he doesn't, though.
Looks like we got a blind raise from the Snugworm to 50.
Okay.
This game gets a lot bigger when you make it 50.
We need more action, so Snugworm's taking care of it.
Well, Batiste loves it now. He's very happy.
Yeah. Maybe it's a blind raise?
It is.
Yeah.
I said that. Are you paying attention?
No, I'm not at all. Batiste makes it 150, and I don't know. Let's see if anyone has anything.
I think Snuggy has to fold, and he does.
Yeah.
So that's free $50 for Batiste. That's nice.
Yep. Might have been called in some other spots. Instead, he just gets to pick up the blinds, too, because he's springboarding off that $50 raise.
Look how happy he is. So happy.
Yep. He's thinking about ways to break into the Pentagon with the biker gang. He's going to...
Biker gangs don't break into the Pentagon. They're for, like, local crime. Not federal crime.
No, the local Pentagon.
The sheriff has to look out for the biker gangs, not the DOD.
Well, things have changed a lot
Okay.
recently. You're thinking old school biker gang. This is biker gang 2.0.
With Batista at the helm of the computers.
That's right. I mean, look, how many bikers wear glasses? Like none. But now, everything's different.
We got
it's not your father's biker gang. I'll tell you what.
Okay. We got a bunch of limping here, and Terminator with a monster finally. And we see that he doesn't make it 25 with a monster.
There were 3 limpers, but
it didn't matter before. He was not
right.
sensitive to how many limpers before. He was always 25.
It's still pretty small.
It is still pretty small.
I think Batista's probably going to call as well.
Oh, of course. And Hank, we know Hank's calling.
Hank may even be right to call.
Yes, I agree.
Here we are. 4 ways. You don't love it with kings. 4 ways. Pretty good flop, though.
It's an okay flop. It's not that good.
I mean, no ace and no 3 clubs. It's very wet. Of course, someone can have 2 pair and things like that.
Hank has a double gutter.
It's a pretty clear bet, though, I think, when you're forehanded.
Yeah, but it kind of, you just barf in your mouth if you get raised.
Yep. I mean, you're going to go with it against Action Aaron, and you may just fold pretty quickly against some of these
Batiste
other
probably
guys.
has to call here.
Yeah, he's got the backdoor nut flush as well. And Hank could raise.
He could raise.
I don't hate a raise at all.
He has a double gutter. It's a very bad double gutter.
That's true.
Well, Batiste gets there.
Wow.
That's pretty
Batiste
unlucky.
Loving that.
Terminator looks like he's going to bet again.
It is a very wet board, and these guys don't rate to have that many aces.
They have to have the ace X of clubs or ace with one of the cards on the board.
They could have ace 7 also.
Those are all possibilities.
No question. But I assume Terminator's not going to put any more money into this pot unless a king comes on the river.
Yeah, that's.
I just have to believe that.
Queen of clubs.
Well, that should really kill
the
all
action. Check, I assume.
The ace could have killed all the action anyway, but Terminator was at least charging that very wet board. I don't know.
Well, that's a pretty big pop Batiste gets to win there.
Yeah, he went plus 715 with ace 5. Always nice.
That's very good.
Yes. Feels great to call with bottom pair and then just turn an ace. You know,
yeah.
It's like, oh, you feel it in your stomach. You know?
Yeah, I don't have to bluff catch anymore.
Yeah. I usually win. And that's a good card, too, because the raiser's usually going to keep betting.
Terminator had a candidate to check there, though, with the kings.
He absolutely did. But it's okay to bet. But reasonable check back candidate. He's fresh off that win. Maybe going to upgrade to the new Calvin Klein jean jacket.
He likes the vintage 2015 Calvin Klein jean jacket.
That's the new one.
Oh.
The new one is vintage, buddy.
Terminator's 3-betting with 7s here.
Okay. Not crazy.
Ken has ace-jack off. This is usually a fold, but not
in Ken World.
Ken World is I win the pot no matter what. So.
I mean, that's a good reason not to fold if you're going to win. And
Hank now makes a reasonable call once Ken's already in there. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. You're dominating your out of position so much, though.
You are.
And in fact, he is dominated.
Terminator has the best hand still. I imagine he'll be betting.
This is a slam dunk, but he checks.
He's just trying to stop Terminator from betting when he does that.
Hank does a lot. He likes reaching for chips and checking.
If you're ever playing against Hank and he does that, he doesn't want you to bet. I guarantee it.
Well, we'll see.
And
anyway,
Ken calls.
I don't know how Hank can call now. I mean, not that Hank should have been calling before. It looks like Hank is calling as well.
What the hell is going on, Johnny?
I never understand anything anymore. That is a pretty safe card for Terminator.
Yeah, it's a pretty big brick.
But I can understand why he'd check. It feels like someone can have an 8. He's hoping they both have 4s or 5, 6. There's not much for them to have. Here comes the river. See if he can dodge everything. He does.
Another decent card for him. He could get called by an ace high now. It's possible.
It's true. It's a scary board.
Hank's going to bet. Or maybe he's doing the thing.
That's fine.
No, it looks like a real bet.
He really is betting. He bets small.
Well, Terminator's not going to fold.
I mean, Terminator's supposed to be beat, but he calls.
It's 150 to win 1.3.
He's got a man behind him. He can't beat any of the board.
I mean,
not a single card on the board can he beat anymore. He got called in 2 places.
Hank bet tiny. He's
got a man behind him.
I think it's a pretty clear call.
I don't agree. Anyway, it worked out incredibly well.
That's why I'm me and you're you, I guess.
For Johnny Terminator.
Johnny Terminator.
That's his new name.
That's it's like the 50s version.
Yeah. Why not? Why not the 50s version? He got called in 2 spots on the flop. I mean, Ken's supposed to have something when he overcalls the flop. Goes check, and then the board is double paired, and the other card.
Ken did not overcall the flop. Hank overcalled the flop.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, because he's the one who bets the river. You know? He's just supposed to have something.
Yeah, but we've seen him play. He often doesn't have something.
I mean, I would have thought there he would have something. It would have been very reasonable to at least think about it, and if not, fold. Terminator loving it. Ken's like, well, Terminator's out. I can't play. Snugworm with the limp on the button.
Joseph's like, can I squeeze here? No, Aaron doesn't have enough. Okay.
Whole lot of nothing.
Yep. This is going to be the last hand of this episode, by the way.
I guarantee you will now.
A 10 for Worm.
And Joseph.
Snug Worm and Joseph.
Joseph probably going to have to call this.
Yeah, I don't see a fold here. Is he?
Wow. How did he do that?
Good fold for the last hand.
Nice job.
Good job, Joseph. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.